to the show, the Nutmeg on Guardian TV. My name is Solomon Fowowe, and it's so great to have you join us today. I hope you're all keeping safe, social distancing, washing your hands, and doing everything that the authorities have asked you to do. Although the Spanish La Liga has ended with Real Madrid, the La Liga champions, but we're going to be talking about Zinedine Zidane and his legacy as a manager. We've heard so many things, from different places, not giving quite the chops that Zidane really deserves, not giving the praise he deserves, considering the sort of things that he has won, the amount of titles that he has won. And joining us on the show today is Shola Adegun, is a coach and is going to be giving us insight on all things Zinedine Zidane and his legacy. It's great to have you join us on the show today, Shola.
It's very good to be here. Thanks for the opportunity. Looking forward to a great.
So, Shola, for Zinedine Zidane, is not he has not been given quite the the accolades that he quite deserves, because when you talk about someone who has won 3 Champions League titles, who has won 2 La Liga titles, and he has the incredible record of winning a trophy every 19 games. Now, where do you think that Zidane ranks when it comes to the pantheon, the rank of great managers, in the world and in history?
Uh, at the end of, I think, like you mentioned, he has achieved a great deal, and for me, that's the end point at that elite level. You want to do as much good thing as you can, and he has done that, and he has an impeccable record so far. Well, you rightly mentioned that he still has a lot of people still question exactly how good he is. And I feel like that mostly is just from a kind of, it's a bias. A lot of the other great managers in this current era have really done so mostly on the back of exceptional tactics. We have guys like Guardiola, to some extent before him, Mourinho, Antonio Conte. A lot of the modern great managers are generally first in as tacticians. So, to a very large extent, people expect that any good manager in this current era must be a master tactician. But it's not. It's not necessary. Tactics is not the end in itself. The end in itself is performance, the performance of the team, and how to arrive at that performance can be different from coach to coach. So for Zidane, he has mostly gone through a different route. I wouldn't say he's deficient tactically. I think he's definitely a very good tactician. Maybe just not at Jurgen Klopp or Pep Guardiola level. But that's not to say he's an inferior manager to them. He has his own strong point. He knows how to deal with the dressing room. He knows how to handle the individual players. And at the end of the day, how you achieve isn't really what matters. What you achieve, that's the end. And I feel he has achieved massively. So for me, he stands as one of the best managers in current football era.
So when you talk about, that he is not a great tactician, exactly, I want you to break it down for us. What exactly are you talking about when you say he's not a great tactician?
In a sense, guys like Klopp, guys like Guardiola have a much more elaborate, would I say, game model. That means in terms of how they want their teams to play, there's a lot more detail, there's a lot more pro tactics involved, specific movement solutions of what they want players to do. That in a way helps 2 or 3 people think exactly the same in the same game situations. So you see situations where it's like the movements of Man City players or Liverpool players is like like a music orchestra. Everybody knows what they should do every given point in time because they are well coached in those things on the training ground. Whereas for Zidane a bit, it gives a lot more freedom to players to be able to identify the different situations and be able to respond accordingly to those situations. So he's not so big on telling players exactly what to do. Doesn't mean he doesn't have any input. He has an overall sketch of what he wants the entire team to do. But players have a lot more freedom in terms of how they can now arrive at what he wants them to do. Meanwhile, guys like Pep and Klopp maybe have more stringent ideas where the players have to do things a certain way. So that's what I would say in terms of the detail of the tactics involved, more detail for also maybe to a large extent the way some of them will change shape. Pep Guardiola can use up to 3 or 4 different shapes in the same game. Zidane is not so, he doesn't go that deep in those areas. He believes his players can handle the kind of problems that happen in the game.
So what has impressed you most about, Zidane's tenure as a manager, his managerial career so far? What exactly, as a coach, as a trained eye compared to the untrained eye, what has impressed you the most?
He has a way of rotating his squad very effectively. I think it's a very dead skill sometimes. A lot of managers rotate, but the degree of effectiveness of how he rotates his squad, I think, is definitely arguably one of the very best at it. He knows how to put some players on the bench, give them a rest, and bring in some new players, and the team doesn't really suffer for it. You can see the left back situation at Real Madrid. While Mendy is mostly the starting player, Marcelo has played a decent number of games. Militao has played a decent number of games. You can see Valverde has played a couple of games. Isco has played a lot of games. Vinicius, Rodrigo, even Asensio, since he has come back from injury, he finds a way to, even the much estranged Gareth Bale has played a decent number of games. So even regardless of what is happening in the team, he finds a way to just rotate the squad in a way that allows players to be fresh, that enables them to be able to perform at their best when they do play. And he finds a way to give a lot of people minutes to play. And I feel like that really helps him to arrive at healthy players for games and very healthy players, refreshed players for the matches as well. So his skill at rotating his squad, it has been very, very, very good.
Oh, thank you so much for talking to us, Coach Shola Adegun. It was an absolute pleasure, having you share your insights with us.
Thank you very much for your time as well.
So that's all we can take on the show today. You've heard it from the analysts themselves. Thank you for watching the Nutmeg on Guardian TV. My name is Solomon Fowowe, and this has been the Nutmeg.